to the stream, everybody. This is the first time we're doing a podcast live on the channel. We are live. We are live. So, you know what that means. There's no editing, there's no nothing. This is just straight, raw, and uncut. So, yes, Lucas is checking
Yes.
out the stream right now on YouTube. Thank you for confirming that it's working on
It's
YouTube.
it's working, dude. It's working.
Yeah,
Awesome.
cause I was like, I'm using StreamYard. If people see the logo up there on the corner of the screen. I was like looking to try to see what if my YouTube channel would connect or not. So yeah, man. Really cool. But uh today, guys, we have our sports analysis show, and you know what that means? That means Lucas is here with us, and it's a very special week because that means that Super Bowl Sunday is upon us. The Patriots versus Seahawks. We did not give our predictions last episode. We wanted to savor that, you know. So first and foremost, Lucas, man, I'm gonna give the floor to you. Um we've had time to, see and predict uh who is gonna win this Super Bowl. Excuse me. So Lucas, go right ahead. What's your prediction, man?
Thanks, Joe. These past 2 weeks of no football has been interesting. See the teams. Both teams are not relaxing, but they got a week off. Do some R&R. Get back, get the get the game winning program settled. Figuring out what they're gonna do in the Super Bowl. And after these 2 weeks and watching both teams and really thinking about it, for those of you who don't know, I work in a barber shop, so I talk to people a lot about the Super Bowl and just hearing everybody's opinion. I'm going to go with the Seahawks, man. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh so quick story. So I'd say maybe about a week ago, um I was at my college campus, and I had a news network uh approach me, and they asked me, they asked me two questions. They asked me how what I thought about Bad Bunny performing at the halftime show, and which I told them I didn't have a problem with. And
Me neither.
uh
Excited.
yeah,
I'm honestly excited.
yeah, and I mean, I got to be honest, I don't really listen to much of his music, but he's very mainstream. So, but they also asked me who I thought was going to win the Super Bowl. So I told them I got the New England Patriots winning the Super Bowl in San Francisco. Uh, you know, they have, I think they have way too many weapons on their team as far as the offense goes. They got a lot of options. They got Drake May, obviously. They got Travion Henderson. They got Will Campbell, Matt Collins, Stephon Diggs. Uh, you know, it's it's definitely, we'll just have to see. I mean, but I personally I think that the Patriots are going to win it in San Francisco on Sunday. You know, this is this is definitely you know one crazy event. I mean, I got to be honest with you. You told anybody 6 months ago that the Patriots and the Seahawks would be in the Super Bowl. I mean, people would have laughed.
Crazy.
You know what I
It's so
mean?
crazy. This season in football, one of my clients told me this, and I couldn't really agree more. This is probably one of the best seasons we've had in recent history, especially the postseason.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, when you think about it, I have to give it up to the NFL how much of a rebound they've done of their image, the bounce back. because I'd say from like 2012 to 2019, they really went through a rough patch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, there was a lot of controversy throughout the league, a lot of scandals, if you want, if you will,
Yes. Yeah, and
cheating scandals, embezzlements, all that kind of stuff, just crazy stuff.
yeah, I mean, the concussions, you know, Colin Kaepernick, you know, I mean, shoot, Colin Kaepernick had people. The NFL really took a big hit on that one. You know what I mean? But I'd say around COVID, the NFL they started the rebound, and
Mhm.
because typically, when during the pandemic, not a lot of people didn't really have a lot to watch. A lot of things were shut down,
Yeah,
so
including
people,
sports.
yeah, so people kind of had to, like resort back to NFL people who were, I mean, quote unquote boycotting it because I'm sorry. Anytime I heard people say like, "Oh, I'm boycotting this," I'm like, "Okay, okay, you'll be back soon,
Yeah.
whatever." But I'm boycotting the NFL. Sure, you are. Anyways, uh, I got the Patriots winning, and you know, Lucas, I will ask you though, uh, what do you think this means for both cities, in Boston and Seattle,
Uh,
uh, for it? What would it mean for both cities to win win the Super Bowl?
uh, Great question. I'll start off with the team I think who's gonna win. I'll start off with Seattle. Seattle, dude. They were at the time the time they were in the last Super Bowl. They were on top of the world. I feel like everybody loved the Seahawks. I don't really think there was a Seahawks hater out there. I mean, the team of doom, the Doom
Legion of
Squad,
Boom.
Region of Boom. Sorry, the Region of Boom, um, Legion of Boom. Like just so fun to watch. Russell Wilson was a great Seattle Seahawk quarterback. I feel like with his the recent way his career is going, a lot of people are forgetting how good he was in Seattle, um, especially in those prime years. But I feel like it would just be a really good win and a really good feel good moment. You know what I mean? For Seattle to win this game. And I mean, I'm rooting for Seattle. A lot of people are rooting for Seattle. Um, it would just be really fun to watch Seattle win the game. I think it's going to be a close game either way.
Okay.
But if what it would mean for New England to win, I mean, Boston probably one of the best sports cities in the country. Bring back the dynasty. It could bring that back. People love the Patriots over there. It would bring back a lot of fans to New England. Kind of get that old feeling of like when Tom Brady was there. I mean, for how long they won. I mean, they were in the playoffs for like 17 years. Like,
Yeah.
so it would just be really cool to see them win back in the conversation. It's not the player, it's the team.
Okay. I
So
mean,
yeah.
look, I think as far as Boston goes, Boston, if the Patriots were to win this one, that to them it would just be like, another one in the books. You know what I mean? Uh, I don't know. Have you ever been to the Boston airport before?
I'm not, no.
So, uh, one of the terminals there, it's funny because they have literally all the banners of all the sports teams there that have won. Celtics have the most NBA championships in NBA history.
Yup.
Bruins, they got a healthy amount of Stanley Cups. The Patriots are tied with the Steelers for most Super Bowls. In fact, if they win Sunday, they will have the most Super Bowls in NFL history by any team. Uh, and the Red Sox, They went through like an 80 something year drought, but yeah, I'd say in the last 20 years they have found success. So to them it'd be another end of the book. However, on the flip side, Seattle,
Dude,
oh man, oh man. Let's break it down. I believe it was in 2001 the Seattle Mariners won the most games in MLB history in a regular season. However, I believe up to that time, I'm not sure. And I think in like the first round of the playoffs they got knocked out,
damn.
which that's pretty bad. Seattle Supersonics, I believe they won an NBA title, but
They might have.
they're now the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, I mean, if you want to count the title they had last season, go right ahead. But I mean, it's Oklahoma City's. Come on now.
Yeah.
And they have the Seattle Kraken, which NHL team that was just started a few years ago. And now we stumble upon the Seahawks, which I gotta say, their first Super Bowl appearance, I believe, the Seahawks, which again was again this against the Steelers, and I gotta be honest, a lot of people feel like that game was rigged. Like the referees were, oh man, it was bad. And the referees just had it out for the Steelers to win that game, but you know, uh I guess no investigation, so I'll just say allegedly. Okay,
Like,
allegedly. Uh, Seahawks fans are still sour to this day about that.
I believe
Uh,
it.
but they got their chance, and they beat up the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Um, I'm sorry, 10 so years ago against Peyton Manning. Then it was 43-8. I remember that. And then the very next year, Malcolm Butler for the Patriots, interception on the 1 yard line. Now, I have to say this, and I kind of cut Pete Carroll some slack on this, but Lucas, I really want your opinion on this. So when Marshawn Lynch drove down to the 1 yard line, so that season when they ran the ball with Marshawn at the 1 yard line, statistically, Marshawn went 1 for 5 on that when they would run the ball with him on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
He would only score one time out of 5 that whole season. So Pete Carroll was probably thinking, oh, they might jam him at the line here.
Yeah.
Let's throw a pass. But like, so do you do you cut do you
I
cut Pete Carroll?
also I agree with you. Like I agree. I cut that guy some slack. During that season, also statistically to throw it on the 1 yard line. I don't know if it was just the Seahawks or league wide. It was more statistically scored by throwing a pass on the one compared to running on one. Like,
It was still, in my opinion, though, still a terrible play call because I feel like what they should have done was they should have thrown a route more towards the corner of the end zone,
mm,
and that would have given because the Seahawks they had some tall receivers on that team, so they could have easily scored a touchdown. But anyways, sorry. What this would mean for the city of Seattle, though, I think it would really mean a lot, especially now that it's literally a rematch. The story has rewritten itself. The Patriots are going to play the Seahawks all all like they did all those years ago.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is gonna be something. This is really gonna be one for the ages. The Seahawks fans will be out for blood.
Absolutely.
Mark my
Absolutely.
words on that. But I think if the Patriots stick to their game plan and they stick to know how they play best, I think they will win. But moving on to the next topic, UFC 325, Volk versus Diego Lopez. Um, Lucas, your thoughts?
This card was great. I love this card. Another solid card for the year. Card 2 for 2026 in the books. The fights on the card, I'll get to the main event, Volk versus Lopez too. But the fights on the card, shout out to Quaylen Sakal, or however you say his last name. Dude, that kid is good. That kid is good. First round submission. Um, he's a good young fighter, arguably a next star, arguably a next champion, definitely a next star in the rising, but arguably a next champion. Um, Another fight that was really good was Dan Hooker versus Saint Denis, Benoit Saint Denis.
Mm-hmm.
Upset. I hate to see Hooker lose, especially in his home country of Australia. Um, but
Oh, whoa,
another,
whoa, whoa, whoa! He is in New Zealand, man. You
he is
cannot
a Kiwi. Oh,
disrespect. You
okay.
cannot disrespect.
Cannot disrespect Dan Hooker. I love that guy. I love the way he fights. He's such a good fighter, but hate to see him get knocked out. As for the main event, dude, Alexander Volkanovski still got it. I would honestly give him out of that fight rounds 1, 3, 4, 5.
Mm.
I think Lopez got the second round just because he had a little bit more control of the center of the ring, center of the octagon, little center of the octagon control, and a little bit more forward pressure. But other than that, I mean, that was a clinic put on by Alexander Volkanovski, if you ask me. He's 37 and he's still going and he's still winning and he's still champion. I'm excited to see what he does in the future. He's usually a really active champion as well. So we'll see what he does for either this year or maybe next year. I hope so this year, though. And shout out Lopez. Great fight against a great champion. Maybe he'll be back, just not against Volk.
Okay. Great fight, like you said. Great fight. I think that, like you said, Volk still has it, and I think that. I mean, it's hard to determine, who could be next for Volk, but if I had to choose, I would love to see him rematch Ilya Taporia for the title. Um, really, I mean, like you said, he still has it. So I think that if he fights Ilya, I think he'll be more, prepared for what Ilya has. And I think that Ilya Taporia is a dominant champion. And, I mean, did you see today that him and his,
Yes.
yeah, his ex-wife, they came to like a settlement. So he's
Case is dismissed.
right. I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy because no one wants to be in jeopardy of potentially losing out on seeing their own children. You know what I mean? That's a pretty scary situation. I couldn't imagine what that's like being. I mean, I'm not a father, but I can only imagine what that's like.
Got to be hard.
Yeah. So I'm glad they came to a settlement. I'm glad he's back. But in all reality, though, I don't think he's going to rematch Ilya. I think what Ilya is going to try to go for is the Islam fight.
Mm-hmm. I think you're correct.
I'm telling you, Lucas, if they put that fight at the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi, Islam being from Dagestan, Ilya being from Georgia, I'm telling you, this is going to break all types of records, pay-per-view, attendance. Like,
well, there's no more pay-per-view now, but
I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. All types of TV records and all
totally.
that.
Oh, totally. Tickets sold. I mean,
yeah,
it would be insane.
That's going to be.
That would be the generation fight. What we thought Ilya and Volk was, I mean, not Ilya and Volk was, what Makachev and Volk was, Ilya versus Makachev would be that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember, you know, and not to rain on Volk's parade. I remember watching the first Volk versus Islam fight, and I remember thinking, "Oh my goodness, if Volk had, just a couple more minutes of that fight, I think he could have potentially finished Islam."
Yeah.
But then that second fight, Islam just came out on a warpath, head kick knockout. You know
Oh,
what I mean? So, you know, but let me ask you this. What do you think is next for Alex to end off this podcast? What do you think is next for Volkanovski? As
um,
he Do you think he stays at featherweight? Does he make the jump to lightweight? What are you thinking?
I want to see what happens between Gaethje,
Hmm.
the Gaethje fight. I think he's fighting Ilya next, correct? I mean, he's the interim champion, so
Well, yeah, but I think, yeah, Ilya said he wants to fight
it
the
either be it's either him or Oliveira or something like that, right?
yeah, yeah, well, no, 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 no. So
No.
Holloway and Oliveira are going to fight next month, and whoever uh won Patty versus Justin, Ilya was going to fight.
Right.
So, but
Honestly, I want to see what happens there first,
okay,
and maybe Volk could think about moving up. I would totally want to see another Volk Taporia fight. Seeing how good he was there, I mean, he looked sharp as ever. He looked like he was 32 again. He looked young, dude. He looked young, fast. He looked strong.
mm-hmm,
Um, he just looked really good. He just looked really, really good.
okay, yeah. So, but you would like to see him fight Gagey?
I would watch that fight. I would watch that fight. I think I know how that fight would go, but you never really know.
Okay,
Um, I'm not going to get all into that, but that would be a really good fight too. But the Ilya and Volk fight, I think, would be the fight to see.
okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think though. Just because Gagey is the interim champion, I don't think that would necessarily stop the UFC from wanting to put together the Ilya versus Islam fight. But because we have seen times where people are interim champions and they go on several title defenses. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Before they fight the undisputed. So, you know, but again, we'll see what happens in that fight. Uh, between uh I'm sorry. We'll see what happens as far as like Gagey and Ilya goes, and I again would love to see Volk fight either one of them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That would be a hell of a fight. So, a hell of a thing to watch. So, yeah. Uh, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the first live stream.
I
Uh,
Dude, good job.
Thank you, man. I really, I was kind of nervous, but and obviously I made some slip ups that I would edit out, if it was, pre-recorded. But this is just the reality of a live stream, and yeah, it's
First
cool.
one, it's gonna only get better from here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Lucas, give some final words, if you will.
Um, shout out to shout out to the JoeyH podcast. Subscribe, like the video. Tune into the Super Bowl. I can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be a great, great Super Bowl. Definitely a game to end the year off of football.
Okay, okay. Great to hear. Great to hear. So, again, guys, as Lucas said, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a great weekend and enjoy the Super Bowl for sure. So, thank you guys so much and peace out.
Peace out.